Hey everybody in phase three. This is Michael coming to you from my apartment. I'm sorry I can't be there right now to be with my group and do this presentation, but I'm actually about to leave for my graduation from graduate school. I'm graduating with my master's in theater studies, and I kind of have to get going. But I really wanted to be a part of this presentation, so here I am. So you've heard a little bit about our trade book about African Americans and a little bit about the famous people that we talked about, or as we like to say, our movers and our shakers. I'm going to talk a little bit about where we're going to go in the lesson plan for doing an activity. Now, this particular activity comes right after the teacher has read the book to the students, and we've had a group discussion about what we've learned in the book. The teacher is then going to split the class up into 5 groups. And each group is going to have a team captain. This team captain will pick a straw from the teacher, and on these straws will be the names of the African Americans that we talked about in our trade book, or the movers and shakers. Each group will then get together, and they will be given role play cards. There will be a role play card that will have the mover and the shaker on it, and there will be role play cards that are questions to this mover and shaker. Now, the whole idea of this role play is if though the mover and the shaker, through some sort of time warp, has ended up here in our classroom and is being able to be asked questions by the students. So on the role play cards, there will be questions that the students will be asking the mover or the shaker. So that's kind of our activity that we'll do with our lesson. So I thought it would be a really good idea if we could kind of do a role play here today. And I may not be there, but we're still going to do it. I want to do 2 role plays, and I'm going to need 2 volunteers from our class to volunteer. So can I have 2 volunteers? Don't everybody raise your hand at once. Anybody? Perfect. 2 people, great. Just get a role play card from Meg, and we'll begin. So to set things up, the first role play I'm going to do is going to be between a student and a famous mover and shaker that we have that's part of our trade book. Her name is Ella Baker, and she was a really prominent woman in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. So when our volunteer is ready, our volunteer is going to ask me a question. I'm going to be playing Ella Baker, and our volunteers will be playing the student in the class. So whenever you're ready, volunteer, you go right ahead. I completely understand your problem. That feeling that you don't belong and you have no place that's yours. I was witness to the same kind of problems in the 1960s when African Americans were not able to use white bathrooms and were not even allowed to drink from the same water fountains as white people. I was just as frustrated and as upset as you are right now. But I joined with my sisters and my brothers, and we found a way to push through. And my advice to you is to try to find a situation and a solution as soon as possible, and to try to make your concerns known to the right people. This way, something will happen. Best of luck to you. And that ends our role play number 1. Very good job. Let's have a round of applause for our volunteer. Great job. All right, so our second role play. Our second role play is going to be, oh my God. Our second role play is going to be about the playwright August Wilson. And August Wilson was a famous African-American playwright who wrote plays specifically about groups of people that were low income and their African-American struggling families. Whenever our volunteer is ready, our volunteer will be playing a student. And again, I'll be playing the mover and the shaker. And in this particular instance, the mover and shaker is August Wilson. So whenever you're ready, volunteer, you go right ahead and ask me that question. Of course, I'm always open to new ideas. Mhm. This is a very important topic and a very big issue right now. I would love to talk about the struggles that African American people are having with the law enforcement, but I would not focus on just one event. I think it might be better to write about a fictional event or about one specific family struggles. This will make the statements made in the play more universal, and it will be able to speak on a much larger scale. And that's our role play. Let's have a round of applause for volunteer number 2. Great job. So those were just 2 examples of 2 role plays that we would probably do on our groups. Each student in the group would have a specific question and a different scenario to ask that particular mover or shaker. So it wouldn't just be, one question. But we just wanted to share a little bit of an example of the activity we do. We feel confident that it would really work well with the students. And I'd like to pass along this presentation to the next member of our group. And thank you so much for your time. I'm out of here and off to graduate. See you guys later. Bye.